Hey, just want to say something to you guys, Facebook and social media, Twitter, Instagram, all the different social medias, the news, the mass society. I've been out of this country for 3 years. 3 years. To some, that's not a long time. And to others, that's a long time. 3 years is not really a long time, but it's enough time to come back to the United States and get a culture shock. I don't understand why I keep seeing all this stuff in the news on racism. I don't understand why I see so much stuff on the news for people fighting and warring with each other, gun violence. I don't understand why I see all this stuff in the news, but then at the same time, I do understand. I understand that the world we live in is not all peaches and cream. I got that. I've been overseas in the military, so I understand that we're at war with different people. I got that. That bloodshed is anywhere and everywhere you go. I got that. What I don't understand is how we are so quick and so easy to trust the media. And yes, it's cold out here, so everything's fogging up. But we're so quick and so easy to trust the media. The very thing that causes us to be delusional, to accept a lie. And not everything in the media is wrong. Not everything in the media is a lie. But you got to remember, if one thing is a lie, how is it so easy for you to believe something else without doing research, being ignorant, and going off of what you feel? Now, like I was saying in that post a couple seconds ago that I just posted on my Facebook page, the magician, his whole goal is to make you believe that his illusion is more than just an illusion, that the illusion is true. That's his goal. If he can get you to believe that it is true, then he has succeeded at what he's trying to accomplish. Now, regardless of whether you believe it or not, it's still an illusion. It is not real. It is something that has been put in front of you in such a convincing way that you choose to believe it. So why are we so caught up on all these little small issues and topics, and without asking the question, why is the media pointing in this direction? What are they trying to do? What is the illusion here? What are we trying to get the mass to believe is true? Or what are we trying to distract the masses from? I left this country 3 years ago, and I left in ignorance, but I don't believe so. I believe when I left this country 3 years ago, that I left this country seeing one thing on the media. Now today, there's a whole nother issue on the media, that everybody else is running and flocking to. And you got people who are supposed to be lovers of mankind, who are using hatred to get back at mankind. Fear, hatred, forcing your opinions on somebody, to me, I believe that definition is terrorism. You force terror. You force people to do something out of fear. That's terrorism. That's the definition of terrorism. But we're looking at somebody else and saying that they're coming to our shores to harm us. And I'm not saying that they're not. But how can you be angry with terrorism? Angry with terrorists when you yourself are having civil battles, your own neighbor. You're going to force your opinion on your own neighbor. Or if that doesn't happen, you take actions against them. And we say, okay, no, we're not the same. We are all the same if we're going to do that. You use love and you actually operate in love and cease to let that cycle continue, the cycle of hatred, or you're going to be the same as the next person, just on a different scale. I am trying to figure this out. I'm trying to understand this. The United States has changed on me. Not all of the United States, but many of us have. And I don't understand how we don't see this. Who told you that what the media is saying is all true? Whoever said it was all true? When we constantly are finding lies here and there. Now, yes, there's some things in the social media, there's some things in the news that is true, but there's some things that ain't. Just because the world believes that if you go a certain distance that you'll drop off the face of the earth and you'll cease to exist doesn't mean that the world ain't round and that we can travel from one point of the world all the way around and come back to that same point. Ask those voyagers that did that back in the old day. I look at the Salem witch trials. Just because you're a young lady in the forest running around a fire doesn't mean that you're a witch. But multiple people were killed, and by Christian folk, because of something they didn't understand. I don't get this, but we're doing this. The history has not changed. Our history has not changed. The methods that we're using to keep causing our cycle to continue, those have changed, but the same results are coming. It's the same results. Either you learn to love and you try to operate out of love, or you're going to do the same exact thing that our ancestors did. Now, I traveled all over the world. I went to Egypt. I went to Israel in a time that most people said, you better not go out there because you're going to get in some trouble. There's danger out there. And I saw nothing but love from people all over the world. And I saw hate. That doesn't mean I didn't see any hate. I did see hate. But there was people who loved, genuinely loved, even in those places where war was tearing up everything. I come back to the United States and I see the same thing. I see love. And I see that through love, we can conquer some things. But then guess what? I also see the hate. And it exists on this front, and it exists over there on the soil, the foreign soil. I see it everywhere we go. And guess what? It's an epidemic that belongs to man and man only. Man is doing this. Somebody is saying, hey, through hate, we can do something. And somebody is believing that, and they're joining forces to do that. So when is somebody going to say, hey, no, it's only through love. Put down yours and let somebody be angry with you. You don't have to fight back over everything, and learn to deal with this, the mind, because the enemy is really your mind. The real battle is right here in the mind. It's always been that way, and it always will be this way. Wars are fought because of the mindset of the people. It always has been. And I'm sick and tired of this, man. I am sick and tired of this. This is the place that I call home. And somebody's going to be like, well, no, this is not your original home. You know what? Forget that. This is the place that I call home. I was born overseas, but this is my home. The United States right now is my home. And I'd be daggone if I'm going to sit here and let all this negativity over the news media and these people that are so-called friends. I'm cutting some of y'all off. Y'all are worse than me. Y'all are tiring me out. Well, this is the problem. That's the problem. What about the solution? What has always been the solution? When people learn to come together and love each other, that's when we get somewhere. Lay down your differences. Lay down your issues. Come on, people. When we learn to act like a family, and guess what? We feud in families. Our families, we fight. But we always love. Love has always been the thing that from our childhood up. We were never, we had to be taught to hate. We had to be taught to hate. When we came out playing with each other. We came out doing certain things together. Somebody had to teach us to be different from the person across from us, to think different from the person across from us. Something had to divide us. All of us played on the same playground when we was kids. Now all of a sudden, oh wait a minute, I can't go over here with you. I can't do that with you. Why? Because we have some illusion. Something going on in the mind. We got insecurities, problems with our thought pattern. And guess what? Because of that, it fuels fear. and causes us to want to fight each other. This is 10 minutes and 10 seconds long, and I'm sorry for the rant.